All right, let's do a quick review of the law of cosines. The law of cosines is used when you do not have a right triangle. If you have a right triangle, we want to use right triangle trig. However, when you don't and you're wanting to look for an angle or a side, if you have side, angle, side, or side, 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 that's when the law of cosines comes into play. Okay, so the law of cosines, you have a squared, you're finding the cosine of a. You've got b squared, you're finding the cosine of b. C squared, you're finding the cosine of c. So if you have a squared, you're going to take on the other side b squared plus c squared minus 2bc and multiply it to the cosine of a. If you're doing b squared, you'll take a and c and square those minus 2ac times the cosine of b. And if you got c squared, you'll square a and b minus 2ab and multiply it to the cosine of c. Okay? So in order for a triangle to be side, angle, side, the angle has got to be between the two sides that you're given. Look at this one right here. Okay? This is not a right triangle. We're looking for x. But if you'll notice, you got side, angle, side. The two sides that you are given form the angle in the middle. That's why it's side, angle, side. So this one is side, angle, side. And we're asked to find this length across from the 71-degree angle. Now, if you want to, you can label everything A, B, C, but it's just not necessary, okay? So if you'll just know that this is your side, and this is your side, and this is your angle, that's what these are. Side, side, and the angle. The side you're given, the side you're given, and the angle you're given. The side you're given, the side you're given, and the angle you're given. These are the sides that you are looking for, okay? So instead of stressing yourself out and doing A, B, C, go ahead and let x be any of these. So it'll be x squared. Okay, and then you are to take one of your sides and square it and add it to the other side and square it. It doesn't matter which one. So take one of your sides and square it and add it to your other side and square it. So we've got 9 squared plus 23 squared. Now the next thing you want to do is do minus 2. And multiply it times the two sides that you are given. So it'll be 2 times 9 times 23. And then you want to multiply that times the cosine of the angle in the middle. The angle that we have is 71 degrees. Okay? And by doing this, if you'll just remember, on this one, B and C, those are the two sides in side, angle, side. This is the angle in side, angle, side. These are the two sides in side, angle, side. This is the angle in side, angle, side. These are the two sides in side, angle, side. This is the angle in side, angle, side. Okay? This is your third side. Whatever it may be, that's what we're looking for. So instead of using A, B, or C, I'm just going to let it equal X, because isn't that what it says right here? That's what I'm looking for. And that keeps you from having to label everything and try to figure out which formula do I need. Oh, I'm so stressed. No, just know these are your two sides. This is your angle. This is the side that you're solving for. So now let's go through and get rid of some of these squares. We've got 9 squared is 9 times 9, which is 81. Then we have 23 squared, which is 529, minus, okay, then we have 2 times 9 times 23. That's going to give us 414. And then we have times the cosine of 71 degrees. Okay, so let's take 81 and 59, or 529, and add those together. 81 plus 529 is going to give us 610, minus 414 times the cosine of 71 degrees. Now, 414 or negative 414 is being multiplied to the cosine of 71 degrees, so you can't take 610 and subtract 414, okay? Because again, that would be like 610 minus 4x. It's attached to something. All right, so I'm going to take all of this and I'm going to plug it into my calculator to figure out what x squared is. Since I have the cosine of 71 degrees, make sure in mode you're in degree mode. Okay, and so I'm going to do 610 minus 414 times the cosine of 71 degrees. Okay, and you get 475.214784. Okay, so x squared is equal to 475. Let's go ahead and go out 4 decimal places to get a measure of accuracy. And then since we have x squared equals, to figure out what x is, I'm going to take the square root of both sides. So I'm going to go back to my calculator and I'm going to do second x squared, and then I'm going to highlight this and hit enter, and it's going to take the square root of that value for me. That way I won't have a double round. So my directions tell me to round all answers to the nearest tenth. So I'm going to do 21.8 as my side length. So x, my missing side, is 21.8 units. And that wasn't so bad, was it? All right, now let's look at number 2. Okay, we've got side, angle, side. Okay, and again, don't go labeling everything. Just know that this will be the A, the B, the B, the C, the AC, whatever you want it to be. The two sides and the angle in the middle. So once again, I'm going to solve for x squared. Okay, so I know I need to square my side and add it to the square of the other side. So 15 squared plus 17 squared minus 2 times those same two sides, 15 times 17. And then I'm going to multiply that to the cosine of my angle in the middle, which is 39 degrees. Okay, so let's go through. We know 15 times 15 is 225. Then we have 17 times 17, which is 289, minus 2 times 15 times 17, which is 510, times the cosine of 39 degrees. Take these two and add them together. 225 plus 289. It's going to give us 514. Okay, so from here, the only thing I need to do is plug into my calculator. 514 minus 510 times the cosine of 39 degrees. Oh, I hit tangent. Okay, so 117.6556. Okay, so I went out 4 decimal places, and then I'm going to take the square root and to get x. So once again, I'm going to do second square root, then I'm going to go up here and highlight that and mash enter, so the whole thing will go under my radical. That's going to give me 10.8. So my side length is 10.8. And on none of these, I didn't put my squiggly line, even though I did round. Okay, so you are going to do number 3 all by your lonesome. Okay, you got to draw the triangle and everything. Okay, now let's look at number 4. On number 4, it says find the missing angle measure. Round all answers to the nearest tenth. Okay, so if you'll notice, we have x degrees. This is side, 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 of course, okay? But the angle between the two sides, this is going to be my BC, AC, AB, whatever I choose it to be, and x is going to be what goes with my cosine. This 8 right here, this is my extra value. That's what I've been solving for in the previous problems with x. So that value is going to be my a squared, b squared, c squared over here on the left side, okay? So remember, side angle side, that has to go over here. This third side, that has to go over here. This is for side angle side. This is sacred. Side angle side over here. This is the third side. Okay, so my third side is 8. So that's going to be 8 squared. Then I'll have 10 squared plus 11 squared minus 2 times 10 times 11 times the cosine of my angle, which I don't know what it is. So that's going to be the cosine of x. So I have x squared equals all this jazz. Okay, so 8 squared is 64, 100, and 121. Okay, so let's simplify everything that we can simplify. Okay, so how am I going to solve for this? I've got to get the cosine of x by itself. This is multiplied to the cosine of x. This is a constant term. So I can get rid of that 221 by subtracting 221 from both sides. So 64 minus 221 is going to give me a negative 157. Now I still need to get the cosine of x by itself, so I'm going to divide both sides by negative 220. So a negative over a negative is a positive. Now this might reduce, it might not. I don't care, okay? Because what I'm going to do in order to get to x, this is the cosine of x. In order to get to the angle that x is, I'm going to have to find the inverse, or the arc cosine. So go to your trusty calculator and do second cosine, that's your inverse, and we're going to do 157 over 220. You can use your division sign. You don't have to use alpha y equals. It'll give you the same answer. Okay, now since this is an angle, again, we're going to go to the tenths place. So that'll be 44 and 5/10. So x is equal to 44 and 5/10. It's an angle, so it needs to be degrees. So that is your law of cosines. Remember, it's only for side angle side and side side side. And everything is gravy from there. So I want you to do number 3 and then the lovely second page. All right, y'all have a great day. Let me know if you have any questions.